so grateful. My husband calls me morning and night whenever I'm out of town. I'm not out that much, but I love being, I have plenty, I guess if I lose one, I've got something else. I break microphones very easily. I am so sorry, but I haven't broken one yet. So, but the word I'm using is cheering for everybody in your path. Learning to really care. Learning to care. Learn to care. I'm not there yet, are you? I work on it all the time. All the time, the word care. All the time I work on this word. In every area of my life, no matter where I go, no matter what I do. I use the acrostic. If you've ever been in a class with me or with Mrs. Evans where I was substitute, or be in a class or a meeting, I always share the word care. An acrostic. Acrostic is when you take one letter and put the letter underneath it, like C-A-R-E, and you get a teaching from each letter. From the word C is be concerned. Be concerned. Every area of your life, be concerned. Go in the grocery store, be concerned. Get your job done. Be concerned about the lady. I met a lady named Maria at Stratton Van Til's grocery store. And by the way, Carol, thank you so much for playing. That has been, your music is just beautiful. I love the piano. I love it. I played with the nuns like for 6 weeks, and I didn't want to sit still, so I quit. I wish I would stay with it. I love the song Mother Beloved. They really prefer me not to play that at college. It's a Catholic song. That's all I know. And chopstick. I do know that too. That's my repertoire. But you do really well. Thank you for doing that. So C, be concerned. She jumped in to take care of the music. Isn't that great? A, with what kind of, to be attentive. So you want to be concerned. And the grocery store, Maria, the lady who took care of me, she's from Poland. Well, my mother's from Lithuania. She had an accent. I'm not being too nosy, but I said, where are you from originally? She said, Poland. I said, my mother's from Lithuania. No kidding, my grandpa's from Germany. She said, I don't like the Germans. I said, well, then like my mother. You know, I didn't understand. And ended up, I've never had this happen before. I gave her a gospel tract. The tract we have has our picture on the back, advertising our adult Sunday school class. It's a tremendous way to give it. Am I talking too fast? I'm on a short amount of time, so I'm trying to say a lot. In a few moments, you'll catch it. I speed up. Yankee. And down south, we say, use guys. Carrying machetes and machine guns. Hey, use guys, get over. I'm from Chicago. Like an Al Capone gang or something like that, you know. But anyways, C, be concerned. A, be attentive to their needs. So Maria, I said, you're from Poland. And my mother's from there. And R, reach out. I gave her a gospel tract. I said, Maria, I know you don't have the time to talk right now, but I'd sure like to share this with you. I'd sure like to, she's Catholic, and I was Catholic 19 years. I'm very versed in the Catholic Church. I mean, I was in Mass every day of my life. That's how my dad lived, and we did too. I know Latin, basic, that's not a second language, but I can understand it still fluently because of being raised in that. But I said, I was raised that way. And that's how I approach it. I love to deal with Catholic people. I love it, because that's my background. And I said, you're going to have to come and visit our church sometime. Well, my husband doesn't like that. I said, well, maybe in the right timing he'll let you come. He died. I didn't pray that. Now she can come. And it's not the right way to look at it, but I said, would you take time to read this? It's a gospel tract that teaches you how you can know 100% sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you're going to heaven. I'd sure like to see you again. I said, and she knew my name because they pull up your digital coupons. You know, I could punch your phone number in there and you get coupons, and I use that. $5 off after so much, you know, and I like that. And so she said, oh, I like you, Jojo. I said, well, I like you too. Whenever I go there, I try to find her. I went back the next time, I said, did you have time to read that tract? She said, you have the trap? I said, no, tract. It's a gospel, not trap. It's a tract. The gospel. Oh, okay. She says, I have it on my computer. I pray for you and your husband every day. I said, but did you read that gospel tract how you can know for sure? Oh, Jojo, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, I promise. And the next time I came back, she had pneumonia and almost at death. Was gone for like 6 weeks. What do you think is going through my mind? Did she read that tract? Did she make a decision for Christ? I came one day, she's back. I said, Maria, she goes, oh, Jojo. She came around, hugs me, you know. That was the day I fell at Strax. I had just had my knee replaced, got my foot caught in the buggy somehow, and fell on the floor. And needless to say, for someone who didn't want attention, I had it. The manager, here, fill out this form. I'm dying, you know, but fill out this form. I said, I don't need to fill out the form. Yes, this is for liability. I said, I don't sue people. He goes, you're different. I'm on the floor giving out gospel tracts. I'm not joking. I thought if I die, at least I want to make sure I finish this well. And was just so fun. And they couldn't believe it. Every time I come in here comes sunshine. That's what they call me. Here comes sunshine. And like that, Maria, she said, Jojo, I read that track. I am going to see you again. I know I'm a sinner. I know there's a penalty for sin, which is death or hell. I know that Jesus came, he died a perfect, sinless life. He shed his blood on Calvary. This is a line behind me. And I trusted Jesus Christ. I asked him to forgive my sins and take me to heaven. The man behind me going, whoa! And she got saved. That was just strictly in the grocery store line. Think your way into people's lives. I wonder what they're going through. I wonder what you're going through. I have a hard time mistreating people. People that appear abrasive and abrupt, they're hurting people. So hurt them more, right? But I'm hurting too. Give it to God. I can't change what's going on in my body right now. This may be the last time I ever speak. But I promise you I'm giving you everything I have. From others that I've learned, scripture, Bible teachers, mentors. Because I don't know. I'm scheduled to speak at Our Lady's Conference in a split session 3 times. The next week I'm supposed to be in Texas. The next week I'm supposed to be near St. Louis. I'm not a speaker. I don't want to be known as a speaker. I'm a Christian. I'm a wife to Roy Moffitt. I'm a mother to 6 wonderful children that I love dearly. 2 perfect in heaven because they didn't have me as their mother. They turned out right. And 13 grandchildren. And plus students all over the country. I've had more fun. Your daughter-in-law's daughters, Diane, to have just to talk to them. All of you that I've talked to, I shouldn't center, but I just talked to them just a moment ago. That's our bonus. It's like clipping coupons for us to keep coming. I'll never die. First of all, I'm going to heaven, but second, if I've had any influence on you to teach you something that I learned, it's not mine. There's nothing new under the sun. I will continue to live. Mrs. Evans used to call it, you're my ticket to tomorrow. Because we'll live on through you. You catch what I'm saying? My client. I mean, I should start it. I'm joking. But I'm just meeting Linda, meeting all the new people. Care. Be concerned. I left off an E. It's a big one. C, be concerned. A, be attentive. R, reach out. Be inconvenienced. Brother Hyle said, you haven't helped someone to your first. Watch how many times I'm just repeating people. You haven't helped someone. You've heard it if you were at First Baptist Church or House Anderson. You haven't helped someone to your first inconvenienced. But when you love somebody, you don't know you've been inconvenienced. Is that good? Give and give and give and give and give and give. This is a big one. Give and give and give and give and give. And expect nothing in return. Then anything you get is a bonus. Isn't that good? That's Brother Hiles. C, be concerned. A, be attentive. R, reach out. E, eager and enthusiastic. As much as you can give, you know what enthusiasm means? When I'm repeating this, by the way, I do have repeat things. The Bible's full of repetition. I mean, in our lives, I repeat it. I was Roman Catholic, it's all repetition. But I mean, I love to read the same things when I'm getting at the Bible. Read it over and over. Every time I read it, it comes out new. Something new I learn. Every time. But to be excited about what we get to do. And that's where this comes in. Ready? This is my son's number at Hammond Baptist High School. This was junior high school. His number was 43. I played ball in high school, and I played ball in other ways too. I was big in basketball, was center, and I love basketball. I'm very, very, very competitive to this day. To my husband, I'm competitive. I sometimes lose on purpose. But I can play ball. Not now, with the shoulder and everything like that. My kids know it. One day they had twin boys came to our house when they were seniors in high school. Our boys are 22 months apart. And they said, hey, come on, Mom, come and show them how you shoot. They were playing pig or horse. You know how you throw it from a destination, and then wherever you are, you land there, and you can get an H, an O, an R, and whoever gets it wins. Well, they said, Mom, come out. They said, oh yeah, bring your mommy out. Well, let her try. I beat them in both games. And then the boy said, you can go back in now, Mom. Just like a visual aid. But I love. They had competition during halftime. Our son was under the junior high team, and they had competition, fun thing during halftime. They gave away sweatshirts. Whoever could score. I won 2 of them. So this is his number, and they put my name on the back. And I thought, for my son. And I thought, is that the truth? The Warriors. aren't we? For Christ. Wins and losses. This name, I hold it highly. We've had losses. We've had a lot of wins too. But I don't center in on the losses. I try to learn from them. Losing 2 babies, you may think that's not a big deal. It was traumatic to me to lose a baby and then to lose a second baby. Totally developed little baby, the heart stopped. They have no idea what happened. But God gave you 6. You know, I have to think about it. So I want to talk about get excited. Now, I'm not going to have this on the plane. They will put me away. You know, I start going, get excited, get bathroom, put her in the bathroom. That's what we'll do. But and can you imagine this? Loretta and I are on the same plane. Stay tuned to the news. What is news, you know? I am getting so chicken. We are very similar. I don't know if you can tell, but we're similar in many ways. Sometimes it's not good. We have too much fun. We don't get in trouble. We don't. But airplanes, I had more experiences on airplanes than I can to tell. I like to tell. 9/11, I remember this visually. I did not want to fly. You remember how it was closed down for so many times. Where am I going? Washington, my first flight. On the way to the airport, by the way, girls, we talk with our faces. Did you know that? You don't have to say anything, but you talk. I'm teaching this right now we have our second week of English, not English, what is English? It's speech. And I say body language. We talk visual aids, use visual aids. If you've been in class at all, we use that. But I say, we have body language. I didn't say anything to my husband. He comes down, you have your 6 kids there, you're trying to hurry to get ready, and he decides to wear the new shirt in the package, totally creased, strong. And he said, Jojo, here, you have time, right? Can you iron this? Like you're burning in the deck, you know, and your kids are watching this. Or we have done this as growing up. My mother would say, before you come downstairs, make sure you make your bed. You can't eat, you don't eat, you don't make your bed, don't eat. I said, okay. I won't eat? No, I'll eat. And I just throw the cover over. And I really didn't do that. I came down real fast and she said, did you make your bed? Going to speech class again. When you don't want to be heard, you clench your jaws a little bit and you mumble. Mumble. Right? She said, did you make your bed? My bed? I was like, I the bed. Did you make your bed? I didn't make my bed. Go make your bed. Yeah, you know, and I go do it. And now I like a bed made. You know, people say, you're getting up. Why, you're getting right back in there. Why make it? Why dust? It's coming back. This is someone told me one day. Why dust? More's coming. I said, well, try to take off the surface at least, you know. But I'm not a neat freak, but I like it nice. So, the plane. We're on the way to the airport. I'm talking with my face, I'm sure. I was very quiet. We chit-chat when we're in the car together. We talk, my husband and I do. He will come tonight, I know. He'll be at O'Hare. He'll be early. He'll be in the cell phone. I know it. He'll have Dunkin' Donut coffee for me, butter pecan. I know it. But I don't want to get too built up then and get in the car and it's not there. Where's my coffee? Since Thursday, where's my coffee? If you care, you better buy me coffee. Would that $2 be that much? Oh, it's too much for you, isn't it? But you got yourself a coffee the other day. Oh, I know you went to McDonald's, but I don't like McDonald's. It tastes like licorice. You know, and you can become like witches that ride a broom with carpet and get in the car, you know. So here I am, on the way to the airport. Quiet. Because I was portraying. He said, was something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Jojo, are you okay? I'm fine. Jojo, something's wrong. Yes, it is. I'm going to die today. He goes, what? I'm going to die today. He's going to die today. I said, yes. I didn't need it to happen. I'm getting on a plane. He said, are you not prayed up? Prayed up. I prayed. Do you realize if you die today? Oh, I said, don't give me this. You know, Roy, if I'm going to die, I'd like to be surprised. He said, if you crash, you'll be surprised. Oh, he was so comforting to me. And so I get into the airplane. He hugged me. Goodbye, forever. No, he was really kind. I went to my turn. And you know, when your spirit is affected, it shows. I went and sat down, crowded as anything, and everybody was like this. And I'm not. This is right after 9/11, going to Washington D.C. where it crashed. You know, everyone's like this, looking suspicious at everybody. I am not joking. And this man walked in with a towel around his head. All these, I was at Midway. And you had many terminals, you know, and I thought, why would he be in mine? And I kept watching him. I didn't see him again. And then all of a sudden I saw him, and he sat down. I don't know why, but I always go to the restroom, especially now. I go to the restroom, and I always wash my hands, and then I don't like to get up on the plane. There's reasons for that, too. Another story. I don't like to get up. Things I've done on planes that are not good at all. The day that I tucked my skirt into my nylons, and I'm walking down the hall, the aisle, and the lady goes, this plane's crazy. She grabs my skirt, my leg. I said, what are you doing? She goes, your skirt is tucked into your nylons. I said, what do you expect? It's so small in there. And then I sat down. The man next to me was very, very cold by the aisle. Every time he'd get up, he'd oh. I had the feeling he wasn't happy. You know, I was in the middle, my daughter Joy was with me by the window, and I'm sitting there, I said, I'm just gonna enter his life. C, be concerned. A, be attentive. R, reach out. I lost it. Where'd it go? Here. I knew I had it. E, eager and enthusiastic. So I thought, I'm just gonna look at him. How is your day going? I'm so glad. And I was trying to give full attention, and when I reached over to get my seatbelt on, I grabbed his knee. And I did not mean to do that at all. That was not appropriate. And I felt hair on my hand, and I thought, this is not good. I tried to look for my belt, and I wanted to be looking at him, giving him full attention. And I'm so sorry. And then I got tickled. Joy said, what happened? I said, it's a long story. I was just trying to talk to him, and I ended up grabbing his leg. You grabbed his leg! Wait till I tell Dad. I said, you know, but things happen to me on planes like I can't explain. So I'm getting to wash my hands, got on the plane last. Not on purpose, but I washed my hands on. I went and sat. The man wasn't even, not only on the plane, he was sitting next to me. Oh. I said, you're gonna die. I'm on guard. We hardly got up. He starts to get up. I said, where are you going? He said, I want to get some water. I'll get it for you. I pushed the button. The lady came back. I said, he needs water. She's looking scared of me. Okay. She came back with the water looking fearful of me. I gave it to the man. I thought, he'll be at peace, right? No. Now he's getting up again. I said, now where are you going? He says, I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah, right. You're in the center of the plane. He's either going to go to the front, the cockpit door. He can go to the back, it's safer. He goes to the front. I took off after him. I stood in front of the cockpit door like this. I think it was obvious. He came out, he said, I thought you'd be here. Go ahead. The whole rest of the flight, he acted scared of me. And I was getting off the plane, I thought, we're here, we made it. As I'm getting off, the pilot came out. I was talking to the stewardess, and he looked at me, and she pointed to me, and he said, come here. I want to thank you on behalf of the entire crew and all the passengers for saving the plane today. Anytime call me, I'll be there in your stead helping out. So I have things like this really, truly happen. Get excited. Things that happen, I need to learn to laugh. But I think of the word care. Get excited, get excited, get excited. Number Ephesians 4:32, and be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me clearly enough? Forgiving one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, have forgiven you. Things are going to happen. Ladies, guard our attitude. Guard being kind, especially when you're under pressure. Do you ever run late? I can remember getting on, I'm a bus captain, I mentioned that. Getting on, my husband and I take different cars because he's associate pastor, he goes in earlier. But this particular day we're going together. All these kids, 2 diaper bags, 22 months apart, 2 sets of them, and have diaper bags, cupcakes for the bus route, my purse, I have a baby on his shoulder, a baby holding my leg, and kids coming through the door. My husband went out early and sat in the car reading the paper to get the news. I have some new news I'm going to tell you this morning. As I'm walking out the door and trying to balance, I'm sweating now. I'm sweating. Not Miss Lindish was a teacher from years ago. She said, you know how a woman will sweat. I never listen. She just listens. I'm just dripping, through your clothes and all that. Oh, 1,000 things are going through my mind. So I get, as I'm walking out the door and trying to balance everything, you have little ones and you have 2 diaper bags and bus promotion and a purse and me and a baby and another one on my leg. And so I'm getting out and my skirt got stuck in the door. So now I'm stuck and I can't move. I drop the cupcakes. He starts beeping the horn. I was seeing blood. I was seeing everything that was wrong. And the kids are watching me. I said, I'm stuck. He said, well, unstick yourself. I said, my keys are in my purse. I can't get to my purse. Would you help me, please? A big smile. Have you been there? And then you get in the car. And the kids are watching me. We didn't have many days like that. But I thought to myself, boy, we can be unkind, can't we? Everyone you reach, be kind. Leave your world and enter theirs. It's kind of fun to do that. I thought about that. Be kind in your attitude. Be a need filler without being asked. I think there's so many different stories, but there was many times where I ended up cheering, but unusual. My favorite story is the week that Brother House passed away, we had a big tournament at our school. Our son Justin was a senior at that time. It's many years ago. That was 2001. He's now 42 years old with 2 children, his own and his wife and all. And I'll never forget how it was just a sad time for us. Brother House is one that put me under his wing in a sense as a baby Christian. When I came from Roman Catholicism and my family gave up on me for 17 years, would not speak to me, my brother. He was very hurt by this. And by the way, don't get mad at these people that do this. My family believes it's the one true, holy, Catholic, apostolic church. We were taught that. And he disowned me for 17 years. But when he had a need, it was amazing how we got to be there to help him. And now my brother is saved, my sisters are saved. I led my mother to Christ 28 hours before she died because I didn't become unkind. When they threw all my clothes in the snow the night I got married, that was a way of teaching me, I guess. But they were not mean people. They were hurt and wounded. I'll never forget it. But I want to have the right spirit. So, our house passed away. The kids didn't want to have a tournament. They didn't want to have a tournament. They wanted to give up. Were any of you there when Brother House went to heaven? Is there anybody who could have been there by any chance? Probably not. I'm too young. But Brother House, we had like little badges that said Daniel 12:3, JFH, Jack Fraser House badges. They wore it over the heart. The players did too, just to keep them thinking that he's in heaven watching us. They know he'd always be at the game, but he can't be. He's rooting for us. Oh, I remember. They didn't want it. Mrs. Hiles. Did any of you ever hear her? She was so kind and so feminine. She said, oh, my husband would not want quitters. Well, quitters don't win. Winners don't quit. Now you will just keep on going. She'd say, it's so nice, I'm not doing very good. And you want to be a winner. You keep those games going. Nobody was in the mood. The first game was double elimination. They lost it. And spirit. And Kenny, his grandson, Kenny Scott, he said, my papa would not want us to do this. Let's do it for my papa. He's watching us. And boy, they took off. They won game after game after game, and they made it to the championship. Wearing a sweatshirt similar to this, but it was blue and white. My husband and I were in the junior high section collecting money. Well, if you're in the game of life, get in the game. You know what I'm saying? Can you meet somebody at church? Can you sit by somebody at church? Maybe you can't ride a bus, but could you make treats for the bus route? Could you look for the little bus kids and maybe pat them on the head and sit them next? They stink. Maybe you might be the reason you can hook them to know how to dress. They don't know. They don't know any different. I don't judge anybody. I don't label people. Don't label people. And so, I still remember that, how, 1,000 things are going through my mind right now, that game. And so anyway, the game's taking place. They're in the championship. They're down by 1 point. Roy and I are over here collecting money. We have 3 different areas. Well, we get into the game. You know, I was up on my chair, and my husband was also. We're down by 1 point with seconds left. I'll never forget it. You don't sit there like this. Our son's a player. They might lose. They might win. No, when you're in the game, you cheer. Cheer for your husband, wins and losses. Your children, have they broken your heart? Don't give up on them. Train up a child the way she go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I don't know how old he is, but they're not. I believe the scriptures. So I thought, boy, oh boy, he's right next to me, and Matt Reynolds, got the ball on the opposite side of the court. He was co-captain with our son Justin. Justin was on the front line. I still remember this. Matt, a couple seconds, threw the ball, hit the rafter in our gymnasium. They brought in David Peach, who's 6'7", but he's not coordinated. He's just coming up from JV. He was like this. You know, he's just tall and lanky, and I thought, oh no, they put him under the basket. He is going to fall down. He is not going to get the ball. And shut up, Jojo, shut up. Cheering. The ball went through. David was there. He got the ball. He fumbled the ball. I feel like I'm in the game. You know, I'm up on top of the chair. My husband hit each other, and the ball goes up. The buzzer goes off. It hit the rim and went in. We won by 1 point. Oh, so you go, so what? Are you kidding me? This tournament, Roy and I, everybody, that day, the bleachers are all elevated, they're packed. They had chairs all around the perimeter of the gym. Everybody was there that wanted to be there. They loved that, especially knowing what we just went through with Brother House Jack. They wanted to be there at this game. And people are running out, coming down from the bleachers and running. And Roy and I are running out there. I grabbed Roy and I hugged him so tight, like I've never hugged him before. And I looked, it wasn't Roy. And I thought to myself, this is not appropriate. There are 2 busloads of Hales Anderson College students right to the right of me that are watching a teacher hugging a strange man. This is really a good example, Chuck. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Roy appears. I said, where were you? He goes, I was right here. I said, oh, no, you didn't. If you had been here, I would not have hugged that man. What man? I said, I don't know. The 2 college kids said, Mrs. Moffitt, we saw it. I said, and again, Mom, what did you see? You saw you hugged that man. Did you see who the man was? And he said, no. I said, okay. Well, they took it as their job to find the man. They went throughout did Mrs. Moffitt, she feels so bad. She just hugged him. Was it you? And this guy said, it was me. He had a welt on his neck when I had squeezed him. And they thought, we found the man. What? We made our mission. I said, thank you. I'm going to quit the church, quit the college. I'll be back and say, you know, and I kept laughing when my heart went and they said, it's Mr. Alberts. Mr. Alberts is a teacher. And I met his wife used to like me and I liked her. And it was his son, Steve Alberts. Remember Steve Alberts? Guess where I saw him? Steve Alberts, all these years later, 201, bringing his child to Hales Anderson College. This is the lady I told you about. Please don't look down at me for this, I'm so sorry. But you know, it's the idea that get excited, wins and losses. You have a lot of wins. And there's so many things I'm not going to have time to tell because I just have a few minutes left. But I thought, learn to care. Be kind, be caring. Invite people to church. Invite people to church. That's a fun thing to do. On my way, I already explained, when I talked to you, Nikki, I said, would you mind, like last night when I got in the car, I don't do that. When I'm with people, I don't use a phone. But I knew I had 24 messages, all pertaining to the bus. Remember, I was saying, do you mind if I use these to make some phone calls? And she said, no, I don't do that. Well, on the way, I said, this morning, would you mind? I need to call my bus route. I called them on Saturday because I can't visit. Because I had that new entourage, you know, all the hoods from Chicago. I had that happen one day. I was playing with some kids on a route on Michigan Street, that's our route. They were playing basketball, and they kind of, one-on-one they're fine, but when they're in a group, they like to harass you. Not always, but they have because they feel tough. You know, I said, hey, you guys gonna come to church tomorrow? Oh, it's the bus lady, it's the bus lady. I said, you promised me to come, but you haven't come. The next time you promise, I'm gonna hold you to your word. They said, how do you know we'll say it? I said, I never played basketball. I said, I'll challenge you. Back to basketball again. I'll challenge you. Oh yeah, you're gonna beat us. There were 7 of them. I beat every one of them. And they said, if that happened, they would come and ride the bus. And I said, I'd hold you to it, especially when you promised me. The next morning, every one of them came. And but when I say love, they had these big boom boxes, you know what I mean, radios on their shoulders. They had 2 of them were in the gang. They had the jackets on with the hats on crooked. You know, they love me because I give them candy. One time I was with my husband, and one kid said, we'd kill for your wife. I thought, oh, that's nice. Did he just say what I thought he said? I'd kill for your wife. We'd kill for her. And then my husband, what about the other gang? I said, well, they like me too. So, but they came, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Here they are coming on the bus, sat with us in church. My son Michael was on one side, Jack Kyle's Memorial Auditorium. I'm on the other side, and I looked at Mike, talked to him at the invitation. If you died today, do you know 100% sure, beyond a shadow of doubt, to go to heaven? No. I said, let's do it. Let's make sure. I said, you guys have made fun. You've done everything. They said, you've never given up on them. I said, on us. I said, there's a reason. I don't want you to go to hell if you die. You're young. You don't know your lifespan. Every one of those boys went forward. We had a deacon, and I dealt with one. Michael dealt with one, and the others were dealt with deacons. Every one of them professed Jesus Christ as their Savior. Oh, I don't know about you, but I want to shout. Especially on that Wednesday afterward, when two of them, when they came Sunday, were playing Russian roulette in the basement on Michigan Street with a loaded gun, only one bullet, playing a game that is insane, and hit it, and one boy shot himself in the head and was killed. That got saved 3 days before. The one boy that was Jimmy, I'm not going to say his last name, Jimmy, they never could tell if it was involuntary manslaughter or if the boy, because both handprints were on the gun, they kept switching the gun. He went to Lake County Juvenile Center. I visited him many, many times. When he was released because he was underage, he became one of my bus workers. He is now down south with a family going to church, and just let me know he's a new deacon in his church. I don't know about you, but it pays to care. It pays to care. I have 3 minutes left. Do things for people. Look for visitors. Sit with them. Show you care. Encourage your preacher. Encourage his family. Quickly. Listen with your head and your heart. It's one of the first points I give in class for Brother House notes. Encourage with a nod of the head and a smile when your pastor's talking. And by the way, if you do anything, include his wife. I never say, I love you, Pastor Wilkerson. Anytime I send him a text, I send her a text. I'm the age of his mother, by the way. But I want to be careful and be appropriate. I never say, I love you, so there's some cute little girls in the class in their church and say, I love you, Pastor. You want to love him, but love his wife too. You're not saying include her. You don't want to cause jealousy or hurt. Only say good about him and his family. Learn to say no, shut up when you need to. Remember their special days, birthday, anniversary. Respond to the invitation. Don't be afraid to come forward and kneel. I cannot kneel. I cannot kneel. There's something, I'm not imagining this. With the metal in both knees, I cannot kneel any longer. I can't get back up, and it tightens up on me. I can't do it. I can sit in my chair, and I can pray. I want the Lord to know I mean business. Ladies, hasn't something that's been said this last couple hours hit your heart? I don't want to be the same to you. I don't want to go back to Indiana the same. I want to be more caring. I want this word to be deep in my heart. When someone pushes my button, I don't want to react. And if I do, quickly go to the Lord and say, I'm so sorry. Or if I say something to offend him, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I didn't mean that. I really didn't. I just some little thoughts here. Be faithful to every service. Your services. Get involved. Somehow help build the church. Join a soul winning ministry. Plan surprises for them. Love them like your own family. There's so many stories. But the epitome of a story about this is my little friend, Carrie. Carrie was on her bus route, and another going on. It was the week of Bible school, daily vacation Bible school. Carrie McClarty is her name. And a beautiful little blonde. We call them dead doors, cold doors. We don't know who lives there. We just knock on doors. By the way, when I knock on doors, this is how I knock. Usually that's loud. I want to know I'm there. If you look at my knuckles, they're all calloused, totally, and ugly, and cut. But he thinks they're beautiful, because I'm doing it for him. And knocking on Carrie's door, I'll never forget it. And I said, oh, hello, are you? And I always talk to the mother. I'm very careful about the children. And the mom came to the door. She had 9 children. Not one of them had the same father. All different dads, every one of them. And Carrie was there, and I said, I'd love if she could come to Bible school, daily vacation Bible school. I'm Jojo Moffitt. I'm the captain. I have 6 children. I treat these kids like my own, and I do. I don't give them old donuts. I don't give them junk. I give them the same good things like I give my children. To make a long story short, she let her come. I was so happy. Then at Bible school, I came to get her, and I didn't realize she had all these kids. I said, if we can bring them, I'll take you. If you bring them all week long, we'll go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal. Okay. Every day she brought her sisters and brothers, every one of them, all 9 of them, if you could imagine. It was a bus route filled almost, not really, but they all came. The day of Bible school. We're done. We went to McDonald's, and we're standing there in line. My husband had the kids with him, and our kids. And I said, Carrie, what would you like? And I said, would you like a Happy Meal? She said, I need to ask you one question, though. How big of a bite do I get to take out of the hamburger? She said, we're not allowed to have a hamburger. We just take a bite. And the other day, that's why my lip was bruised. I got slapped in the face because I took too big of a bite. I said, you get your own hamburger. You get your own French. I'm standing there crying like a baby. I said, you get a prize, you get a drink. And my husband looked at me like, what is your problem? Why are you acting like this? And I'll never forget that. She came Sunday after that. For years and years, I'd go to Brother Liberty Baptist Church, Brother Jack Cox, and they always, for little Joy, our daughter who's not little anymore, she's 38, they'd go to Peaches and Cream Factory or something like this, and they'd bring a discount place and get her a beautiful dress with bows and matching stockings. Joy kept them for her little girls. She didn't use them, she kept them for herself. She wanted to keep them for her girls. Carrie came over, for a Sunday, and her mom says, hey, take her, keep her. You can keep her. And that's how they're treated. By the way, 9 children all live on one twin-sized mattress without sheets. Dirty, bed bugs. I can't explain how these kids live, and they're happy to come to church. And so I'll never forget it. She came home with us, and Joy said, Mom, do you have anything to do? Because I want to have some fun with Carrie. I said, oh, sure, I'll be fine. I'll do something here. And I don't usually bring my work home from the college, but I found something to do. And they ran to the basement, they ran upstairs, they ran to the basement, they ran upstairs. A few minutes later, and Carrie was so dirty, her hair was matted shut. Her crease lines in her face, dirt in her face. She wore her mother's shirt, the clothespin, her sister's skirt that was too small, and her baby sister's, little sister's stockings that didn't even fit. That's how they dressed. They were very poor. And when she came down the stairs, Joy said, close your eyes, Mom, close your eyes. Open your eyes. She had taken Carrie and washed her hair, curled her hair, put bows in her hair, washed her face, put on the new dress and the stockings, and she said, Mrs. Moffitt, who do I look like now? I said, you look like a beautiful little girl. She said, no, I look like Joy, my daughter. I said, you look like Joy. Joy gave her all of her dresses, all of her socks, all of her bows. That night in church, she got to stay. She put my hand on her lap, Joy's hand on mine, her hand on Joy's, my hand, Joy's hand, and her hand on Tom. And she said, in the Jack house, she looked around and she said, everybody, look at me now. I look like all of you. And I thought to myself, is that precious? Those people are everywhere, and they need somebody to care. Who could you add more care to? Someone that comes into church, little bus kids, little kids in the nursery that come in, crying all the time. I wonder why. Maybe they don't feel well. Maybe they're not well. Little moms and dads, the elderly folks that are alone. See, I think too much maybe. Boy, I love you ladies. I can't wait to bring my hoods with me tomorrow morning. My hoods, that's called the gangsters. They come with me, and they love me unconditionally. Isaac, he punched me in this arm that has a new rod in it, like this. That's her way of saying we love you. That's my love tap. And then her sister said, she just had surgery. So he comes on the other side and hits this one. He says, we love you, Mrs. Muffin. We love you, Mrs. Muffin. And I just got a text from his mom last night. We can't, Isaac and Melissa can't wait to come back to church because you love them. Whoa. Who in the world really cares? Who in the world really cares? Can we all say, I do. I do. Love your husband more. Picture him like mine going through cancer birth. Love him before it's too late. Love your kids. They need to have that. My mother never kissed me till 3 weeks before she died because she didn't know how to. I lacked it, believe me. But God has built up a love inside of me so deep for other people. Brother Hal said, you'll never get it back, Jojo. I said, I'm not trying to. I just want to love deeply. Who do you love? Tell them before it's too late. By the way, may I say something? I love you, ladies. I love you. Girls, former students, girls, and ladies who are grown now, I love you. I love you. And if I never see you again, this might be my last time. If I don't see you here, I'll see you there. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we